Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of World 1-1 Podcast. This week, I'm going to just blitz through the bullshit. So, homed at Podbean, world11.podbean.com, all spelled out, all one word. Twitch is twitch.tv, World 1-1 Podcast, all spelled out, all one word. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, YouTube. Yeah, there. That's it. Done. Awesome. This week is our special on the Mighty Mighty Boosh. I am the Mighty Mighty Beard. Joining me this week is the Mighty Mighty Bald, the Mighty Mighty Bosom, and Michael the Mighty Mighty Bummer.
I like it. And by like it, I mean I hate it.
There. See? We can expedite this shit. Ready? Set? Oh my god, video games. Kathy, I haven't talked to you in a while. The hell have you been playing?
Not much. Animal Crossing has basically taken over my gaming experience. And
Tell
that's
us
pretty
about
much
the world
it.
of your island.
My island is very natural. I haven't done much to it. But I have kicked off a resident, and we're working on kicking off another one, so, we're getting tired of them.
You can kick people off.
You can kick them off, but you kind of the bad part is you got to wait till they suggest that they want to leave. You can't just vote them off the island, unfortunately. But great. we do talk to Isabel and let her know every day we don't like this person, that they're causing trouble. And then eventually they just come up and I'm just thinking I shouldn't be here anymore. And we say, be gone.
It's all passive aggressive.
It is. It is
it's
very
kind of like Florida.
Sure wish people liked me.
I mean, we say we don't like the way they've been talking to us, but apparently you can also, I forget what the other one is. We don't like the way they look or something. I forget. It's all very.
Wow.
It is.
Well, for a kid's game, my God.
I'm telling you, Isabel is a bitch. But
her real name is Karen.
Oh no, it's Isabel. Trust me. There's no Karen on no. But I did find a character named Violet. Of course, it's a hairy ape, but it's okay. It works. She's come. We invited her to our island, so she moved in. But,
cool.
But yeah, no, it's just very. It's very basic. It's just like all the Animal Crossings that have come before. You basically whore yourself to Tom Nook, trying to collect as many bells to expand your house, and
the digital pimp hard at work.
Pretty much. And you just collect things, sell things, make things, trade with other people. I think that's probably the biggest complaint, is that you can't, to 100% the game to get every single item, you have to be an extrovert and go to other people's islands. And I'm not that
not
type
about
of person.
That new life.
I'm not
the
about
most
that.
Introverted, extroverted thing ever to do.
Exactly.
Play a video game and then go somewhere virtually in the game.
Yeah. So, but
they should really do an Animal Crossing version of the Grand Theft Auto type games. It's Grand Theft Auto violent, but it's cutesy as shit. I'd play the fuck out of it.
I can support that.
So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's been nothing new. Everything else has just been old. I got back into Skyrim again, trying another quest, and Fortnite's been kind of on the back burner. I just haven't wanted to play, surprisingly. But I might.
Even with the return of Star Wars stuff?
Oh God, that was the worst. I'm telling you, they're really pushing for. Yeah. I'm glad I'm missing this week's event. I'm glad I have to work. Let's just put it that way.
Scraping the barrel.
Yeah, but I do have challenges, and being the person who likes to do challenges, I got to go in and complete challenges. So, but that's it. Nothing really new. Nothing's caught my eye yet.
No. And Michael, what have you been playing? Tell me. Talk nerdy to me.
Don't make this any creepier than it has to be.
That's what I'm good at.
There you go. Well, as I said, I got suckered into trying the hard mode on Final Fantasy VII, and after a couple days of fist fighting that, I just you know what? I don't care. So I started playing Trials of Mana, the new one. the 3D remake.
Yeah.
And I've never played. Obviously, I've never played any version of this game, but I was a huge Secret of Mana fan. But like, I was actually disappointed with the Secret of Mana, the remake they put out a couple years ago, just because like it was the same game, but it was just lacking something. Like I can't put my finger on what it didn't have, but because it was literally the same game, but it just didn't have the same feels, I guess, as the original.
New game smell?
Maybe? I don't know. But, like, so I went into this thinking, I just started it last night, the Trials of Mana, and half an hour in, like, the voice acting is so bad that half an hour in, I was like, I can't do this.
Please do impersonations.
It's everything's so wooden and just cheesy. And then, like earlier, I started, because I have the collection of Mana too.
Yeah.
And I started that thinking, well, maybe the sprite-based version will play better. The dialogue is literally taken exactly from the original version of the game. It's just the voice acting is terrible.
Aww.
Mm-hmm.
No
so
budget.
It may just be that, like, right now, as I said, I'm fucking brutally exhausted right now, so I just might not be in the right headspace for it. But
that's a fair acknowledgement.
Yeah. I think that's it, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any good new toys show up?
What did I get? I know I got some.
I know I'm
shit.
deviating, but I'm curious.
I got. There's this company that called Flames Toys that they're putting out. They're not. Whoops. They're not model. I mean, they're not transforming figures, right? They're just action figures of the characters.
Yeah.
That on average run about $400 to $500 a piece, but the detail in these things is worth $400 to $500. However, I'm poor and don't have one. And they're also doing obscure characters. Like the first one they did is a comic book only character named Drift.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I think they just recently put out an Optimus Prime. But they also are doing model kits, and I got the Devastator one recently.
Ooh, cool.
And
I like it.
Highly articulated, non-transforming. And they're based on the comic book versions of these characters. So
fun.
And I know I've got a new Warpath figure, but Masterpiece Warpath figure.
Ooh.
But I don't know. I've got so much bullshit coming down the pipeline. I don't even fucking remember. It's like Christmas every day over here. Ooh, it's stuff. I don't even know what the hell this is.
Yeah, it happens to me too.
Yeah. It's great. I fucking love it. I did order. I finally broke down and ordered Bayonetta 2 for the Switch.
Yeah.
However,
yeah,
because I've never played it. Like, I bought it for the my Wii U a long time ago and just never got around to it. I actually threw money at the special version that came with a disc for the first game too, but never touched it. Okay, so because I'm a good little consumer whore, I managed to find a pretty good deal on the deluxe version of the Switch version of Bayonetta 2 that has like all the. I think there comes with tarot cards. Comes with a steel case for both the first and second game. All this other shit. It's obviously used. As I said, I got it for about half the price it's normally going for. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Good. And Josh, what have you been spinning in your disc tray?
So I got the Complex. I know, Larry, you've been playing that too a little bit, but
just a little.
Yeah,
I need to play more.
I got into that today. I started today and I finished it today. So that was all I was doing for that. I've been playing Ori on and off. I don't know what it is with Ori. I like the game. I really do. I just can't get into it like I did the first one.
Yeah, it's not as bingeable.
Yeah, I like it. I'm enjoying it, but I just like taking a break from it for a little bit, I think. And that's what the Complex kind of was kind of like something different. I didn't really I wanted to play a game, but I didn't really want to play a game.
Actively play, yeah.
Yeah, it's like more of a movie. So I enjoyed that though. So that's really all I've been doing.
Okay. Anything exciting on the horizon you're looking forward to though?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of stuff. I've ordered a lot. I've got a lot of stuff on my backlog that I'm just looking into getting. I mean, obviously there's some big titles that have been pushed back, so that's fine with me because I've got so much I want to play. I do want to try to play. I want to try to get into something like I'm not really sure. I'm going to look at my Game Pass titles because there's some there that were really interesting to me. So I just kind of wanted to see the list and see what I can download. Since right now my ISP isn't going towards my download cap. I figured I might as well download as much as I can.
If it's still on Game Pass, check out Hue. It's really good. I liked Hue a lot.
Okay.
The the puzzles are great. The concept is awesome, and the woman that narrates, her accent is, I really like her accent. Like her voice is, it does good things for me.
I feel like I need a shower. Thanks.
It's like that exact right kind of British accent.
They got a couple new games.
I picked the wrong week to come back. Damn.
Is there such thing as a right week?
True. Very true, Michael. Very true.
We missed you.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
We've been saving up all the creepy for now.
You've been saving it up so that I'll disappear for another 5 months, or how many months? 3 months? 4 months.
Yep, I sat down at my computer. I got Skype good and lubricated before I hit the call button, and
gross.
Not yet.
That's what that whole blur effect on Josh's screen is right now. It's actually just Vaseline.
Vaseline on the lens.
That's an episode titled Vaseline on the Lens. I like that one. I had something else for this week, but that just went out the window. God. Oh, fuck. What have I been playing? Oh, yeah, I did play stuff. I actually played some multiplayer stuff this week. So I tried really hard, and apparently I'm very inept because online multiplayer is so very much not my thing, especially getting anywhere approaching the realm of sports. For the life of me, and you can all point and laugh, and I don't care. I don't give a fuck. But I could not figure out how to fucking get local multiplayer going on like a single console for Rocket League. I'm like, where the fuck is this setting? This should be easy. And it was fucking bullshit. I wanted to play Rocket League with some friends, and it wasn't working. So it just kept trying to throw me into online matches, and I'm like, no, I don't want to play online. I want to play with my friends.
You mean like you like had multiple switches you were trying to connect?
No, one switch. One switch, multiple controllers. We just wanted to play on the same console.
And you're all our friends, right?
Yeah, we were all right here, one switch. We wanted to play multiplayer on one console.
Can you even?
I thought you were supposed to be able to.
I don't know if that's possible.
I don't think it is.
I thought it was supposed to be. I swear I did it on the Xbox years ago.
Okay, that's the Xbox. This is the Switch.
Should be doable. But in any case, so that got chucked in the bin for the time being. And then we played some Castle Crashers for a while, which I missed Castle Crashers. I'm going to be excited when Michael fucking comes over and we have a very long night of pizza and beer and Castle Crashers start to finish.
I still want to find out if we can play remotely together.
I'm sure we can.
It's probably possible, but like as I said, like I just because you and I are both kind of homebodies, and
we are, but you and I need to make an actual night of it. I mean, it's been what 10+ years
at least. I lived in Niles at that point, so yeah, it's been.
Yeah, because I was living in Goshen at the time.
Thousands of years ago, before Sigourney Weaver.
Right. Before everything, before the world. So that'll be an epic 7-hour stream.
I was like, plus all my characters are fresh. Like at this point.
I know it'll be great. It'll be just like the first time we did it.
Yeah,
it'll be beautiful. So I did discover though I've apparently mastered the art of like taking at least a started character and using it to shepherd new characters along without like dominating. I'm like, okay, I can sit back and still be like mildly active and just act as a support character.
Sure.
And let them soak up most of the XP and the coin and everything, because at least starting the game from scratch with a level 10 character and 2 level 1s, you know, there's some imbalance there. I'm like, okay, it took me about one stage on the map to get a handle on. I'm like, okay, I think I've got the system for this, where they're not left hanging in the lurch, and I'm not just, you know, sweeping the fucking screen, and then I can, once they catch up, can just kind of come in with them. So that actually worked out really well. I was pleased. That took a little thought. So, and then we went oldie but goodie. We busted out some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Drink and Drive Edition.
Oh, what?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is that an actual game?
Yes.
It is when Larry plays.
Yeah.
I was about to applaud Nintendo. Fuck you.
Mario Kart Drink and Drive is awesome. So for those not familiar, it's a house rules variant of Mario Kart where you set it up on multiplayer, no PC characters, just the people in the room. Everybody starts every course with a beer. You have to finish your beer before you cross the finish line for the final lap, and you can only drink your beer when your car is at a full stop, no motion.
All right, I like it.
It was awesome. We consumed much alcohol, and it was good funs. Let me tell you, Rainbow Road's a whole different kind of bitch.
Yeah.
By the time you get there, yeah.
Uh,
At that point, how many beers in are you about that point?
But it was good fun. I'm like, you know, we could play like vanilla Mario Kart, or we have alcohol. We could make a game out of a game. I mean, to be fair, it's what we all do anytime anybody plays Monopoly. You fucking bring in house rules. Everybody does.
Yeah.
I'm not judging it. I think it's actually pretty brilliant.
No, I stumbled across that
and then
years
the loser should be the one who has to take a shot.
That's right. I concur. I like it.
You're just bringing in the concept of alcohol poisoning.
Only if you lose.
That's right.
This podcast does not condone alcohol poisoning, okay? We do not condone the overuse of alcohol.
We also do not support actual drinking and driving.
Right. Just Mario Kart drinking and driving.
Keep your drunk ass at home.
Yeah.
I said over drinking. I didn't say drinking at all, okay?
I know. I'm just clarifying on the subject of drinking and driving.
Yeah, we don't condone that at all. Yeah, don't try to do real life Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that was good fun. What else did I play? I know I pissed around with something else, and I don't remember now. It's escaped me. It'll come back eventually. Don't care. Also, I just saw a couple hours ago, somebody on Facebook said that they actually got a shipping notification for the collector's edition of Blasphemous.
Really?
Yay!
Yeah. Well, my order's been listing as on deck for about the last week and a half, 2 weeks. So it's like, it can't be far.
It's coming.
Right. Which means it's sitting in the warehouse. It just hasn't started active shipping yet. So it's got to be coming. It's got to be moving out in the next couple days, hopefully. So, but like everything that I have on order from LRG right now is slated for Q2. So Blasphemous will be the first. I know, like I said, my copy of Blossom Tales is just waiting on my copy of Dark Devotion to finish and ship at the same time. And then Mist is supposed to ship Q2. Also, Michael, there's another Shantae game, and Limited Run is doing a collector's edition.
Yes, they are.
Is there?
May 15th. Go check out their Twitter. They have details.
Okay. I did just order the deluxe version of the final Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing because it means I have to wait for that to come out before I can actually play it because I'm not fucking buying it early.
I know. Actually, that I would pay an extra few bucks if, because at least now LRG is getting to a point where they're announcing a lot of stuff, pretty much at the same time as the game is launching. But, it's not shipping for a couple months until after. I would pay, in those cases, I would pay an extra, $5-10. Give me a download code as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't, honestly.
Yeah, there's an untapped market there that they could be taking advantage of, I think, that would help them out tremendously. Like, you'll probably eat a little bit of the cost, but you could probably get your pre-orders up and make it up in volume if you did that. So, because people would feel less bad about double dipping.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my thought. So, also,
either that or they're actually banking on the people like us who are probably going to do it anyway.
More than likely.
I mean, they sell out everything, so I mean,
yeah.
What's the point,
Yeah. That reminds me, I need to see where my copy of Sexy Brutal is at.
They're not shipping anything right now because of their lockdown.
That's right.
I know. I'm going to switch because they have them in hand.
Yeah, they always do.
They're like
that's why when
fat.
I was thinking about it for a second, I'm like, that should have shipped by. I'm like, oh yeah. Yep. Now I remembers. So, and also to cap off this section, fuck Red Art Games. Where's my goddamn copy of Zeo Drifter, you pricks?
I got my Red Art order. I did email them with my confirmation number, and I said, where the hell is this?
Yeah.
It took 4 weeks after that, but I got it.
Jesus. Fucking hell. So, but yeah, that's most of what I've been playing. I know there's more Ori stream happening this weekend because Liv is coming over and she wants to play more Ori with Daddy.
Oh, cool.
So, and my second Corsair headset came in the mail, so I'll be able to mic up Zoe as well. While we putz around with some Ori. Oh, that was the thing.
Is the last time you played Ori the time you got your ass whooped by that frog?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just gonna say because I haven't talked about the fucking frog.
No, I watched that video and that was hard to watch.
That was bullshit.
No. Here's the thing. There is a tell. I couldn't believe you didn't catch it. He basically licks his lips every time. He uses the tongue, and here's the thing: after he shoots the 4 ink blots or whatever, almost always the tongue blast will be next.
See, my problem is I could see the tongue coming. It's just it was such a pain in the tracking on it was too bullshit for me.
Well, it tracks you, and basically, you just have to pay attention to the patterns and figure out, okay, the next thing it's going to do is the tongue, so you got to be ready to move for it. Also, you rely way too much on the hammer. I know the hammer is badass because it does so much damage, but it's too slow, and every attack is a commitment.
Yeah, I've had to switch up several times to another weapon too.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time I use the edge, it just feels like I'm not doing anything.
I use the edge just normal. I usually would have the edge and then the hammer on secondary. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna tell you this now. This is a minor, I guess almost.
Okay.
The javelin.
The javelin. Holy shit! Does that do some crazy damage? It's a bitch to aim with.
Yes.
But it does crazy fucking damage.
Yeah. No, I'm well aware that frog fight was fucking rough. And just something in my head was just not, it just wasn't clicking. And I just wasn't fucking seeing it. And it also irritated me too. It's like my brain is going, game logic says there should be a reliable pattern of attacks and there's fucking not.
Yeah. What was it? For the record, I had the same issue with the spider fight, actually. That spider fight took me forever to get through. Just because there's so many pieces to it.
See, I did okay with the spider fight. It was the Quolock fight that fucking got me. So, I don't know. But it may have just been that my brain wasn't all there as much as it could have been. Like, I was all jazzed up for it. I'm like, okay, cool. We sorted out the issue of the bubble puzzle. Did you like my solution, by the way?
Yes.
So the bubble puzzle shit that I got stuck on, for anybody that hasn't watched this, I just said fuck it, and I just brute forced my way through the spikes, and then fuck it, I'm just gonna eat the damage.
I've done that more than once.
It wasn't worth my headache. I was like, fuck this shit. I can recharge this.
Yeah, I got enough health. All right.
Exactly. I'm like, I don't know why I didn't think of this the other night, and I don't know why you didn't fucking say something.
Because I actually did the bubble puzzle the way it's supposed to be done.
How do you know my way wasn't the right way?
Because I did it without taking damage. All right, this Shantae set looks fucking good.
$70
ain't bad.
No, it's not terrible.
Okay,
Some of their pricing is actually decent.
Sometimes, yeah.
Right. Like there are times where I'm like, their pricing's a little on the high side. I've never felt it's ever been completely outrageous, but there are some where you're looking at it going, okay, that's exactly the right price.
Yeah.
And you feel way better about it when it is exactly the right price.
A lot of times I find that on the actual just regular copy of a game that they have. Mm-hmm. It's when you start going to the collector's editions and everything, and that's really subjective. You know?
Yeah, it all depends on what you like.
What you like and what you want to get out of a collector's edition. You know?
Agreed.
If you want statues and stuff, these are not the kind of editions you usually get that with. But...
But yeah. So, but I finished the Quolock fight and I stopped there. So that's where I'll be picking up on Saturday when the Munchkin is here, because she loves watching me play Ori. She adores Ori. So it cracks me up though. She's got past the whole, she gets really sad when I die playing Ori, because when I first introduced her to it, she got real sad when she'd see Ori die. She's like, oh no, and she get all fucking like weepy and everything and upset. And now she's just like, oops, oh no, try again.
Yeah, because he comes back.
As I say, it happens every 15 seconds.
My wife was like that with Pikmin. Watching the Pikmin, and when you get the Pikmin die, and then little like ghosts.
Okay, that's kind of awesome. Actually.
Yeah.
I actually got really into Pikmin 3 for a while. Years ago, but
I own 3 and I've never played it.
I've played a hunk of it and I enjoyed it.
I played the shit out of 2 though.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't play 1 or 2 at all.
I didn't like 1 because it had that arbitrary time limit. And they did away with that on the second one. But my biggest complaint about the game is it's just the same problem I had with Katamari Damacy. Just give me a free play mode. Because even the second game had the day and night cycle. So each day was limited. No, just let me play. Let me just explore and play around.
Just sandbox it.
Because that was kind of stressful getting back for nighttime.
Agreed.
I will admit, I had the same reaction. The first time I started playing, I had the same reaction your wife had. That the first time I left a couple of them just out in the wilderness, and it shows them directly as the monsters them as you're taking off in the ship. It's like, you motherfuckers!
Yeah, the mon comes or eats them. Or when you throw a water one in fire or something.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right. Well, that's a good enough place for us to stop for a minute and say break. And we're back with the third half of the show. This week we're going to deep dive into a special topic. For your listening pleasure this week, Michael has prepared a 27-minute presentation on why Barbie Horse Adventures is the greatest game of all time. And go.
No. It is a great fucking game.
It's fucking stupid. Is that the one that's fucking stupid expensive? Because there's one of them that's insane.
Is that the one that could game break a system?
I don't remember I know one of them was real short print because it was the end of the Wii, I think it was, and or the Wii U maybe, but yeah, it was insanely expensive. But But in any case, so Josh actually hit us with the topic this week, so I'm going to toss it over to Josh and let him run lead tonight.
All right, so here was the topic I was kind of thinking about, and Larry said it was a good idea. Well, I don't know if it's really a good idea, but Larry said it was, so
we're going to find out together.
We could find out about it.
But the topic together, bitches.
It was kind of had to do with, like, once this, like Last of Us 2, this leak came out and everything, and, like, we've heard on, like, ideas of crunch, and, like, Rockstar now with GTA 6 is saying that it's going to be a smaller experience at launch, and they're going to patch it after launch, so their development team doesn't have to be so invested in the development of it for so long. And the idea was, do you think that as gamers, how would we accept that? Like once we're used, for example, like GTA 6 or something, when you're looking at a smaller experience at launch, is it going to be a problem? Or so these developers can have lives? I know when you're older, you realize more that, people create this stuff. And when you're younger, you maybe just like, oh, I just want my game. And you don't really care. But I know as I get older, my ideas have changed on this subject over and over. And now I kind of hear it coming back in the realm of conversation.
I've got thoughts, but I'm going to toss it to Kathy first, actually.
Geez, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Josh. But again, growing up with the way the games came out before on cartridges and now how they are developed specifically for PC, we're talking about computer engines that are running them, even when we have the consoles. So I think I'm trying to put how I had a good argument for it earlier because I was preparing, but that's the problem. I over-prepared. Personally, shut up. And I was comparing it to two different games, and when we look at, and it's mostly looking at the open world games, and I looked back to two games that I really love to play. So, Breath of the Wild's development versus like the development for Skyrim and all the bugs that came out with it, and looking at what was said on both ends, and truly, I don't think it matters. Because look at how long it took to get Breath of the Wild, and then Nintendo developed it, and it came out virtually bug-free. I'm going to say almost 99.99%. There was nothing wrong with that game. There was nothing. There was no need to do any updates really to it, and if they did, it was just very minor tweaks for the systems. And that was both on the Wii U and on the Switch.
I'll say frame rates was definitely probably the biggest thing out of all of that.
Frame rates is just I don't give a shit about the frame rates when it comes to playing my games. I'm the type of gamer, if the game is good, I could care less what it looks like. The frame rates.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play the damn game. Okay.
No,
but then again, I grew up playing games where the frame rates would crash like crazy, thinking back to Super Castlevania, Castlevania 4, when you get to the spinning room and you basically would just slow down to molasses every time something came on. So,
and not only that, but developers used that too back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
They knew it was going to slow down. They made it harder that way.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But anyhow. But then you have like Skyrim got released, and look at all the bugs. I mean, there are still bugs even to this day. We still have patches that are being developed by modders, not by Bethesda themselves, but by modders, and there's still bugs in that game. And no matter how many times they upgraded and upgraded the system and everything, there's still bugs. But people still loved those games, and I think it's up to the game. It's up to the game company to decide, and I don't think it's going to matter if they make a quality game. It doesn't matter which way they go; they're going to get the critiques either way. It just depends on what they want to do for their employees and what they want to do for their fans. And waiting doesn't seem to hurt. Getting it out earlier. I mean, unless we're of course talking about Fallout 76 now, but that was a shitty game. That was a shitty game.
There's no fixing that shit.
That is a shitty game. But if you have a good game, I think...
And there's still people that play that thing.
I don't understand why.
Fallout 76, there's a lot of people that play.
There are a lot of... And that's the point. It doesn't matter. You're going to have your fan base. You may have the critics out there screaming from the top of the hills, but it's not going to matter in the long run.
And that's another thing. Like, is it just the vocal minority that really just wants to put up a stink for it to put up a stink because they think it's like
look, it's some notoriety,
the thing to say, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, again, you had everybody saying Breath of the Wild was this awesome game, and then you had people coming in saying, no, it's not. You had both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't think it matters.
There's kind of a natural cycle of that shit for Zelda anyways, like with every Zelda game. It
Zelda
hits...
is probably not the best because that's a weird area, but I use that as an example because Nintendo is known for putting out really good games. Even though people make fun of it, say it's kid games, people enjoy their games, and they tend to be very, very few bugs. And people have to find the bugs and utilize those glitches for like speed runs and stuff. But you wouldn't know it unless you were looking for it or you were trying.
Their baseline for quality out of the gate is well above the industry average, period.
Yes. But they're also designing for a different like hardware than what other games are doing. I mean, like we've seen people who have been porting games, third-party games over to the Switch have been saying it's very difficult to make those ports because of the system. So it's a completely different system, but...
True. Michael, how do you want your games delivered? One big or just, an ongoing affair?
I don't think it matters. Like, I think Kathy's right that it doesn't really matter. Like, for one, people are going to bitch no matter what. Like, most people have at least some level of entitlement that you're not going to please everybody. Like, some people are going to say, like, I'm totally okay with waiting longer if the game is better. But, like, then they're going to deal with shit like, for instance, Darksiders 2, when that came out, that got... Right before it came out, it got pushed back, I think, like 6 months, and so I was in the camp that was like, look, if it means a better game, I'm okay with the wait. And then it came out, and there was still issues, like the game fucking froze on me so many times, corrupted files once, like just.
God, I remember that.
Yeah, I defended that game tooth and nail, and then I was trying to 100% it for the second time, and the file got corrupted right at the end.
Oh,
at that point, I was
That's
like, "You motherfucker, I'm just done."
Yeah.
But like Kathy said, like it's gonna have its fan base. Like even though the game screwed me over like that, I still love the game. I love the series. There's. Then there's the people that are going to be like, no, I want the game as soon as possible. Like, bugs and all, you can patch it later, which personally, I don't like the concept of like patches, like, because I'm old enough to remember you bought a game. That was it.
Yeah.
If it, like I'm old enough.
We're all in that department. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect example. Okay.
Welcome to the old man cast.
Yeah. No,
and Kathy.
Yeah, thank you.
No, I remember.
I know. I thought it as soon as it was out of my mouth, but it was there. I couldn't not run with it.
Okay, I'm one of the guys. It's all right. I'm one of these old men. Listen here, Sonny.
That's right.
That's one of the things I said when I bought my house. I can't wait to sit on my front lawn in just a bathrobe, waving a stick at people. Slow down. But stop. No.
Please tell me when you're doing it so I can drive by. I just want to have you shake your, fist at me.
Just let me know when
next time you're in town. Yeah, we'll make a point of it.
But like, I remember a couple years ago, my dad bribed me into hanging out with him by buying me Tekken 6, right? And, yeah, there's a story there. And I got it home, and I was all excited before I went to work that day. It was like, oh, I just want to beat up a panda. That's all I wanted to do. So I put the game in, and instead of like it used to be where you just put the game in, there's the fucking game. No, it was a 45-minute fucking download. Plus, like the day one patches and shit like that. I'm just like, I just wanted to beat up a panda before I went to work.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't like stuff like that. I just want to play the game.
Well,
I had that same thought with Recore when I picked it up originally, or when Eddie sent it over.
I understand the necessity for it and the fact that since that concept is available now, I understand that companies are going to use it. That's just kind of the nature of the beast at this point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I'm paying $60 for a game, I want the game.
You want to be able to pop it in and go, but
it's a whole other conversation. But the one thing too is like, because of the physical medium, if you go like to a midnight launch event, which basically doesn't exist anymore, but it's not a midnight launch event anymore. You get a copy of your game, but you got to come home and you got to install it. Then you got to update it to a day one patch. Then you got, so basically it's, I'll put it in tonight and then play it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I know sometimes, like if you do, a lot of times the digital pre-orders, you can actually preload the whole thing.
Yeah,
but that's only for digital, and like we're all physical whores. You stop it.
Except Kathy.
Excuse me, all. Like, no, it's not all. Where's Dylan? I need my backup here. Digital, not all the way.
Yeah.
Oh, but
3/4 of us here are. Yeah. My left leg is not.
Well, now I know where I am on Larry's screen.
Slightly uncomfortable again.
Don't worry, it hangs to the right. You're good.
Oh God, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Kathy, I'm thinking about it now too.
I'm just thinking about that scene in Look Who's Talking for some reason. That movie, Look Who's Talking, when he's pulling on the umbilical cord. That's what I'm thinking of. I want some apple juice down here.
Wow.
That's a real old reference there.
That really is. Wasn't that Bruce Willis's voice?
Yes, that was.
Yep.
And Roseanne Barr was in the
sequel. You know what was ironic about that? Is that he was bald in that role, too.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
If you really pay attention, he's always been bald. We're trained not to notice for a while.
Mm-hmm. That's the true mark of the old man. I was around when Bruce Willis had hair.
In Moonlighting. And it really wasn't hair.
It was like, he had like the...
Like the peninsula.
Yes.
That's like if I grow my hair out, that's what it looks like.
How do we get off topic? Okay, bring it back.
All right. But yeah, like as I said, it doesn't really matter. Like it is what it is. Certain companies are going to continue to pump out garbage and quote unquote will fix it in post.
Yeah.
That's, as I said, that is the one thing I do really love about Nintendo is Nintendo very rarely puts out garbage.
And it seems like that their developers actually have lives too. Like they're not. They'll take 10 years to make it. I mean, look at what they're doing with Metroid. They don't.
Accurate if you subtract Sakurai from that equation.
Yeah.
He just lives chained to his desk.
Pretty much.
I'm pretty sure they buried the key with Iwata.
Like the whole concept of crunch, because I tend to work like that too. When shit needs to get done,
you work.
I will put in 60, 70. I did a 96-hour work week once. I worked literally a 36-hour straight shift once at work.
Right.
And like it's brutal and it sucks, but sometimes that's the only way shit gets done. However, in the video game industry, like I look at it from the perspective, it's not that fucking important. Like if you got to push the date back, then push the date back. Don't kill people just for a video game.
Well, not only that, but it's so commonplace now.
It's automatic. Yeah, it's expected.
Yeah, not only is it expected, but I mean, it's so commonplace. At some point, you have to look at the industry practice and go, you're doing something wrong here.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, my whole thing with it too is like, I get sometimes you have to work harder, and of course they're getting compensated for it. At least they should be, hopefully are, and they get bonuses on the back end and things like that. There's a whole bunch of different pay structure issues.
Assuming you don't work for Gearbox.
Right. But then that's a whole nother story too. There's a bunch of employees that actually came out and defended Gearbox in another article. So that was a whole different thing. Mm-hmm. But, you start coming back to it going, like you said, it's a game. Is it really that important that this like makes its launch date instantaneously? Or are they just giving us launch dates too early to begin with? Because making video games is hard.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of unexpected shit that will probably come up.
And then there's always the employees that look at the people that this is art to them, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And as I said, like I totally get that concept.
Yeah.
That like if you're gonna pour your heart and soul into something, you want it to be good.
Right.
I almost kind of think that release dates should just automatically be arbitrary. They should say, look, this isn't set in stone. If they have to push it back, then push it back.
Yeah.
But again, people are gonna bitch no matter what. So
that's true.
Yeah. No, I agree. Kathy, how are you on time?
I got 14 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, I lost track of my clock, but anyways.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'll give you a little, fuck you when it's time to go. in my.
She's done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have to leave every conversation like that from now on.
Forever. That's right.
Yeah, forever.
Man, I'm too nice. I can't do that. I'm too. In fact, I shouldn't even have done that. I'm so embarrassed.
That's the pre-roll. Sure. Just Kathy saying, fuck you.
Great. Just what I'm known for now. Such a lady.
Well, I mean, if you really want to be known for something else, you should totally go with the channel change, the channel name change we were talking about earlier. I fully support that.
I know you do.
No,
yeah,
you should change your channel name to Larry's Left Leg.
No. No.
God.
Left leg of the beard.
No.
That's just perfectly weird enough to fit for everything.
And it's probably not taken already.
I would imagine not.
That's true. Probably not. Well, no, you know what? In this day and age, you never know.
Yeah.
Just somebody else we have to hunt down like we were discussing earlier.
Yeah.
Again, I am not in support of hunting down people and destroying them. They may be, but I'm not.
Where is your sense of adventure?
It died when I turned 40.
Fair enough.
Just along with all my other hopes and dreams, it just died.
That just happens in general. I mean, it's like you're circling a drain, and as you go closer to the end, it goes quicker. It's just.
God.
You get tossed clear, or you go down.
So, I'm going to throw some thoughts on the table here, and some of them have leaked out already and dribbled down the right leg.
You're wiping them up and putting them down.
I really want to know who is getting the right leg. Who's getting all that shit down on them?
It's Dylan for not showing up.
All right, you got now 11 minutes. Hurry up.
I'm gonna take a different approach here. I don't mind them releasing smaller games in order to get it done and out. But my thought is with something like GTA or anything sandboxy, which again, my opinion really counts for shit here because I'm not a sandbox game person. I'm just not. It's not my thing, but I'm not knocking them either or anybody.
I'm not saying you're knocking them. I'm just saying you're not. So continue.
No, but in any case, it all comes down to what you do with that space. Because again, delivering a smaller game in the context of like the realm of sandbox games, you're really probably talking about cutting real estate, which is a big defining factor. And I can see some pros and cons here. The pro is assuming they do it right, you have a more densely packed space with more shit to do and less space. You take the Majora's Mask equation, essentially. Smaller space, more shit, more interesting. That's the right way to do it. But at the same time, too, and God knows sandbox games have definitely been circling this drain for numerous years now, though, is that they push for bigger and bigger and bigger maps just to be able to say that they have them, but they're filled with fuck all nothing interesting to do. So I'm kind of like, but on the other hand, you've got something like GTA where, again, it comes out so infrequently that
Right.
you know that they've spent the time packing that space no matter what the size. And so on the subject, if it was my cup of tea, if it was my thing, I'd be saying, look, take the fucking time that you need. Don't change what you're doing because you know, it's delivered what that fan base has wanted consistently, is big space, evenly and well filled with interesting stuff to do. And, you know, it's like, I don't know that I'd want to see them cut that down. It's like, if that was my thing, I'd be like, I'm looking forward to having that bigger playground. And then I know that maybe down the line they might, you know, open up another chunk as DLC, but I suspect that that's part of the magic of opening a new sandbox game and just dropping into the world and going, holy fuck, look how big it is, rather than it being piecemeal added and it doesn't have quite that same wow factor to get you initially enamored. And I feel like that would really detract from it from the jump, and it would give it it would make it have a harder time getting its gears rolling in terms of sales, acclaim, reviews, things like that. You know, I feel like that would be a big detractor. Now, on the other hand, you know, if we take, I don't know, fucking Ubisoft and their annualized sandbox nonsense, you know, that'd be okay. Because, again, they could afford to fucking cut some goddamn space out and just, you know, up the population density into something that's worth a shit. So I think part of it depends on who you're talking about and their general practices in the
That
first.
is true. Yeah. Like when you look at a Rockstar product, I mean, they're known for their big, immersive, open world, like you could do anything in their games.
Yeah.
But like I would be like with that, I would say, are they just going to launch with just like a first play, you know, for just a campaign, for example, no online component, and then they launch that later? If you were paring down the product like that, that might be a smart way to do it. Because people, you know, expect everything at launch right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or unless they get told up front, you know, you're not, like they did with The Last of Us 2. They said there's no multiplayer in this game.
That's really
releasing
expect everything at launch anymore in the world of the day one patch and then some?
No, but I mean, like, I think they have to be honest with the expectations that they're putting on people. Because you, as a consumer, you have a right to know what you're getting for your money, right?
Yeah.
However much you pay. And so, I mean, that's part of it too, I think. You know, expectation.
No, agreed. I mean, set the expectation. You know, under promise, over deliver. Don't go the other way around.
Always.
Yeah.
But that's never really the case these days, and hasn't been for a long time in this industry, and that's probably not ever going to fucking change either. No Man's Sky.
To be fair, they fixed it.
Several years later, but no, they did actually. I'll give them points on that.
Yeah, but you're right. That was like one of their trappings. You know, they promised this huge procedurally generated experience, and it just couldn't deliver it.
Oh yeah.
Same thing with like the Fable games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Molyneux is just, you know, famous for that.
He's a professional liar. Yeah.
That's the same to him as fucking breathing oxygen.
Yeah, he's like a politician of the video game industry, you know.
Hey, look.
Good way to put
it. He is alive. Go figure. So, he finished his bike. Neat. But yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of that. And God, just like we were talking about earlier, Fallout 76 is another one of those culprits.
And it's Bethesda, and Bethesda's known for their bugs. I almost think like Bethesda gets a pass. Fallout 76 was the first time they didn't, but people like expect them to be buggy when you buy it.
Buggy, yes, but like
not unfinished.
Yeah, unfinished, or you know, most definitely not what was promised.
No.
Sure.
Because that was a monstrous, colossal failing on a scale for Bethesda that I don't know they've really ever hit before, which is part of why it was so strange and abrupt.
Yeah, I agree.
So, oh well. No, I feel like we've hit a good concluding point for this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I've enjoyed this thoroughly. This actually took multiple turns that I was not anticipating, but I really like dissecting. So, all that said, we're gonna wrap here this week. Make my life at least a touch easier than normal. Thank you to all my friends for coming and hanging out with me. Thank you to Kathy. I'm glad you actually got to come and join us this week. It's nice to see you back again. I've missed your face terribly. Josh and Michael, and yeah, I miss you guys.
Aww.
So, but anyways,
6 feet away,
I missed you. I missed you guys until I became Larry's left leg.
If we were to do this on Wednesdays, would you be able to come normally, or
no? My schedule rotates, so like 1 week I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, and then the next week I'm working Wednesday, Thursday. So it's every other week. So I mean, if you're willing, the 1 week to do Monday and then the next week to do Wednesday, I'm okay with that. So I mean, it's up to you guys.
I can make that work.
That might be something we can discuss off stream or off podcast.
If it meant having Kathy on, it might be worth it.
I don't see any reason why it's got a lock and stone other than just for consistency.
We can discuss this once we close the podcast. So
yeah,
I don't think everybody needs to hear.
Well, Larry can edit. Larry can edit.
I'm not editing this shit. Are you kidding me?
Chip, Larry.
So.
But anyway.
All right. Well, that said, a couple reminders. There are still open giveaways happening. There's the Dust Elysian Tale giveaway. If you go there's as always links in the show notes. Go like and leave a comment on the Dust Elysian Tale unboxing. It gets to 100 likes. We're giving away a free copy of the standard edition on Switch. And as we mentioned earlier, Blasphemous is apparently finally getting ready to ship, and we are nowhere near the 200 mark on our Twitch channel. So if once we get there, there's a free copy of the collector's edition of Blasphemous on Switch that will be arriving in my mailbox soon, that I can then put back in my mailbox and send to somebody else. So, free stuff. Just click some buttons. That's all you got to do. But other than that, yeah, I'm done this week. I've had my fun. I'm ready to go.
Kathy, say goodbye like we discussed.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
She's not going to do it just out of spite of you now.
I said say goodbye like we discussed.
Goodbye like we discussed.
There you go.
That's a Larry joke. Although I would expect that from his left leg.
Yeah.
It is his best part. Let's just put it that way.
Wow.
It's a good leg. What can I say?
I'm done. Okay.
All right.
God damn it, Larry. I just saw what you posted in the chat.
Good night, everybody. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Peace.